Hey everyone. So as you can see, I've made some more progress on Skyhole here. So I'm gonna start with the overworld stuff. Being that I did figure out the sort of thickness that I need for the ground. So I did decide on what I mentioned before. So 1 block of gravel, which is 50 strength, and then dirt and grass are each 20 strength. So it's generally gonna be 3 blocks thick with this pattern, except where there's an elevation change. So where there's an elevation change, I'm gonna have it be a little extra thick for either 1 or 2 blocks. So it'd be something like this, or back to the way I had it before. Because the corners would actually be more vulnerable to damage. So like, for example, I'm going to throw a grenade right here. Not really the best grenade though, but it actually does show my point a bit. Where there was grass above this, sort of like that, but then the grass, but the block below it was destroyed. So this was like, just like this, where it's grass, dirt, and then gravel. Gravel would be exposed right here. But because the extra block, it would take an extra explosion to expose the gravel. So you see it takes 3 grenades to actually open up the underworld. And that's assuming that you're not like directly on a stalactite. It would be really unlucky if you're directly on a stalactite, because like, as you can see, there is a stalactite right here. But it'll still able to open up a decently sized hole. So I might try to look around through the box, see if there's something a little bit weaker. I think alien lock is a little bit weaker maybe, but I sort of just want to mitigate the idea of people just being unlucky with where they decide to blow up blocks from. So yeah, I'll be thinking about that a bit and see what I can come up with. But I think this should generally be fine. Of course, like, I'll do more testing before I consider this map finished. Probably before I actually do significant work on the overworld, maybe. But yeah, that's what I've done with the overworld so far. Now for the underworld, as you can see, I've changed the lava a bit, and this is actually supposed to be raised more, but I have it lowered so it's not in my way. So this is how the lava's gonna look. So very large bubbles, and I actually made some adjustments to the to this whole platform here, just so that the visuals didn't get in the way of anything. So if you remember, the lava was actually on this layer right here. So there was only like 2 blocks before you would have somewhere to stand on. So what I actually did was I actually removed all the glyph blocks, and then I replaced all the complex blocks with this glyph block here instead. So now all these platforms look 1 block taller. And then of course you saw what I did with the portal there. And then this actually isn't the floor block. So then below this is actually where I have the portal. I did find out that the portal works if I can, if it's inside a block, so I'm not going to show it right now, but most likely I'll actually be able to move this down so that this is actually the floor. But that's not really very important. So yeah, the lava is 1 block lower, and I think it looks pretty cool now with the large portal. So yeah, I'm really happy with that. So as you can see, I did fill in these platforms a bunch. I'll show you like right over here if I just move this portal down so I don't die. Pretty much all these alien dirt top blocks are going to be covered up from the inside by this alien dirt. That way when you blow up the alien dirt top, this alien dirt, which is going to be unbreakable, will still be here to just keep you out of this area, because it's going to be like an air bubble, so terrain is going to be unbreakable to a degree, but then on top of this, I'm going to build with breakable terrain. I'm not going to build up the terrain quite yet, because what I want to do is I want to build foundations for the buildings. So as you would have seen on my mini model, there would be some buildings scattered around here. And as I said in the previous video, some of these buildings will have teleporters that go back to the overworld, which I'm not sure exactly how I want to set that up. I'm not sure if I want to like be able to fall from the sky or just like have other sorts of exit points. I want to have like fall looping on this map so that like people could like pretty much just fall back onto like the overworld pretty naturally if they were to actually like find like the proper hole for that. But then I wouldn't actually be able to set up a lava to be fatal. Yeah, I'll probably just have to either teleport people from the sky, or I'll have all of those teleporters set up to connect to the overworld portal. So either way, I'm gonna have to think about that quite a bit. So yeah, but as I was saying, I'm gonna make the foundations for these so that what that's going to do is that's actually going to very easily like mark the layout of the building, so I'll be able to stand in many places and like without the building being completed, I'll still be able to figure out how the sight lines will work. And then I can both build the terrain based on that, and I can also make adjustments to the buildings to help with that as well. And then when I'm actually happy with how that's laid out and stuff, then I can actually finish building it up and finishing it. So that will be something I'll do a bit later. And then that would actually be about it for the Underworld. Of course, I'm still going to be building the bridges across the platform. You can jump between them. It's hard in some cases. I think with this one, it's really easy with the dash. And then with ones like this, the wall isn't quite built up enough, but I think if I just build up a little bit more, you'll see that it can actually be easy with the wall jump. Let's see if I can do this. Alright, one more try. Okay, I'm not going to spend too much time on that, but you get the idea. The platforms should be fairly easy to jump across. It will be dangerous, of course, because if you fall down, you're dead, but yeah, you can jump across the platforms, but there's still going to be bridges because, partially because it looks good, and also because a low risk option is a good thing to have. Especially for ones like this, like if I want people to be able to travel between these, it might be nice to actually have a fairly protected bridge, and then people can actually damage it to make it more dangerous, both in like making it more exposed and in like putting holes at the bottom of the bridge so that people could more easily fall into the lava. I think that would actually be a pretty cool effect to have, and I actually sort of wonder if like over the course of most matches, if like some of these paths would like be completely blocked. I think that'd be interesting to see. So, but yeah, I'm gonna lay some of this stuff out, and then I'll get back to you all. Alright, so I've made some more progress. This is gonna be the last thing I show you for today. And yeah, I'll just get started with this. So this is a building. I'm not quite sure exactly how wide I want to make it. So like it might end up like right here or something. I still have to think about it a bit more, but this is a building that is going to be mainly meant to protect people from this building right here. Now this building right here is most likely going to be like the main power position in the map. And I made it especially big so that people can't just like stand on like say like the roof or something and then like sort of just like constantly attack people in like line of sight. Because you should actually have a decent overlook on like quite a bit of the map from there. So what I want is I want it to be easily challenged. So like what I mean by that is like someone can come in and then now like either this person up here is going to die because they're unaware, or they have to actually come in and deal with this person, which gives the other people all around more time to go about their business without being contested by specifically the person who's up here. I placed these ammo blocks down to mark where the teleporters go. So this is also going to be a part of why this would be a majorly contested area. Because if someone wants to go to the overworld, they would come through here. Or like one of those other two spots. And then they'd be back up to the portal on this side. So like right above this platform. So yeah, the benefit of having like just like a generally powerful position right here that's also protected from the portal is that this is also going to keep this platform generally clear. So that of course people will still like use this platform probably a decent amount, but nobody's going to be able to really hold this for an extended period of time because there's going to be someone up here who can then pretty easily attack them with a decent advantage, especially if I do end up not putting any buildings here like I currently plan not to. So this would be one of the main ways to attack people who are coming from the portal, but then that's going to be sort of ruined just by the fact that this isn't an area that someone would want to stay for long. And similar case here, although it's a bit different. This would actually be a more effective way to attack the portal. People do sort of have the option of just like coming right here. But then, as you can see, someone who's on that platform could just move over towards towards the portal and like more effectively attack it that way. So what I'll most likely have is like an entrance to the building right here. So that way people can be more protected from that and stuff. So yeah, either way, this is going to be like the better position to attack the portal from. But the main thing that mitigates that is just the pathing to it in general. So you can see I have two like bridges marked out here, and I'm only really going to have one of them in the final version. Now, these bridges are going to be up a bit higher on the hill. So instead of just like starting here and ending here with the rails and stuff, the rails are probably going to start like this far out. Maybe even a little bit further like here. And so the significance of that is that like, where is it? I think it's from here. People on this platform can't really attack the portal. Especially since they also have a second bridge that's also blocking that. So someone has to come out to here or move over onto this platform in order to do that. And so that would give the portal a little bit of danger, but it's still going to be the same case because like this area right here is in major danger from this uh, from this building. So this building's probably gonna come out to like right here or something, and then come out to right here. And the overall pathing towards it is just gonna be pretty dangerous. Right here is gonna be like a generally safe area, so like you have a building as cover. And then this place will actually have two bridges, so someone shooting you, have one bridge for cover. And then you could, and then if you're like right here, you also have the second bridge for cover. And if it gets too dangerous, you could generally come back here, especially if you're at this bridge. Come behind the building, and then this is actually the building where you'd most likely find a rocket launcher. So anyway, once you get past here, you know, you would have like a sort of garden area, so you would still have options in order to like effectively attack this area, the path your way to here, and then come around to here. But all these options are going to be relatively dangerous, where like either you have to deal directly with that building, or you have to deal directly with this building, and then still have a relatively long path to go, which is also going to be relatively exposed. And so, again, effective place to attack a portal from, not an effective place to hold out for extended periods of time. And I might add another building to like really help with that. And alternatively, I can still like add like stuff into the lava, like it won't be this block, but you know, I could add stalagmites to the lava, which could also not only help with sight lines, but could also be an alternative pathing option. So like imagine this much larger stalagmites and just being able to jump across them like that. So I think that should work pretty well. Anything else? Like I said, I did make this like long bridge here. I think this will be pretty interesting to see people use. What I might do is I might add another bridge like right here. I'm not sure exactly how that's going to work structurally, because like this is going to be a bit of a hill right here, like the hill's going to come up a little bit. So I'd have to have like some sort of like catwalk or something going around. I could do a diagonal bridge, but I'll think about that later. So yeah, I guess the last thing I have to mention is this area. I'm not sure if I want to put a building here. I'm still thinking about that. A lot of this is just sort of like moving around to look at sight lines and just like thinking about different gameplay scenarios. Cool thing I'll show you is this. So I placed an OP sniper here, and I've said, you know, I've said a lot of bad things about Cyberbound, which I still mostly think to be true, but I thought this was cool enough to add. So like, you know, the OP sniper is just sitting in the lava, and the only ways to get to it would be to either blast it or to like place blocks that would let you get to it. So yeah, I generally don't put OP snipers on my map, but I think if I can make them contestable enough so that people don't necessarily have to deal with them, I think that's pretty fine. So yeah, what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna build out the overworld area. Probably gonna like line the edges of the underworld first, and then I'm gonna use that to build out the overworld, and then I'll like, you know, lay out all the buildings and stuff up there, just like I did down here. One last thing I want to show you is sort of how people from the underworld can contest people who are just like up in the overworld trying to shoot down. So let's say that someone someone, has like a hole that's opened up that they're able to shoot down into. Let's pretend that this edge is the hole. So like maybe they're shooting down on like this rough area, like at the garden, the end of the bridge and stuff. So you're down here at the rocket launcher. What you want to do is you want to aim for like the middle dirt block, and you're gonna destroy a big chunk of that land. It's usually not a whole lot on the first shot, I think it's because this is a flat surface. But now you see how like this dirt is indented. This is how it's more likely going to be in actual matches. So then you shoot that second layer of dirt again, and you can just see how much it actually destroys. It's not always going to be indented like that. Like you want to pay attention to how vulnerable it really is. But you can see it's easy to destroy a huge chunk of land if someone's not careful. So like, let's say, you shot them a bit, they go to regenerate, and then basically once their shields are regenerated, you fire that rocket. So then once they're coming over, by the time they're looking over, the rocket is already like here or something. So then they get hit, they fall down, take a decent amount of damage. And I think that amount of damage is actually enough for 2 shotting with the battle rifle or pistol. And that's without additional damage from the rocket. That's just while bringing them down because of the rocket. In best case scenario, they're above a lava pool, then you bring them down, and they just die immediately. So yeah, I think that's going to be pretty cool to see once actual gameplay is happening. I'm going to talk a bit more about this when we get to play testing, because a notable thing is that people don't always play maps in the way like they're intended to be balanced, and that's not like a sort of thing where like they're like breaking the map or something, but like they're just not playing well, and so the balance of the areas just isn't showing. And so like stuff like this sort of really takes a good player to be able to effectively test. Like I said, I'll talk about this when we actually get to play testing. That's going to be all for now. I'll talk to you all later.